Looks
Good
good.
evening. It's my friend Carl. Hooray, we've got Carl.
Hello again, Ben.
So good to have you.
I'm happy to be back.
Are you? Because I feel like I'm holding you prisoner at this point, but that's fine.
I mean,
All right.
what's that? What they call that? Stockholm syndrome? It's a good one.
I like it.
I always really like Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. Oh yeah. God. Great time. Just don't go into the West Wing, or some way.
I'll try not
Anyway, if we had that's a fun thought process there. If we had a Disney fantasy draft, who do you think your number one overall Disney character would be?
Oh. Are we talking just favorites, or do we get to be friends with them or something like that?
Oh God, I didn't really put any thought behind it other than
you know what? I think I'm gonna go with the rug from Aladdin.
I was gonna go Baloo the bear was the first one that popped into mind.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Baloo's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe we'll incorporate that into next year's fantasy league somehow. We'll see what we can do.
I like it. That could be fun.
We're here to continue grading your awful teams, though, and that's awful as in AWFL, like the league. I'm not saying that anyone in particular has an awful league other than Ryan, awful team other than Ryan. Anyway, I tripped on my own joke and now I'm mad at the world. We're going to talk about Mike's team because Mike has a team that things like. Yeah, big runner-up. Exactly.
Yep.
And wouldn't you know, Fantasy Pros has big runner-up in the number 2 spot, because why wouldn't they?
Yep, right where he belongs.
Yeah, it looks like he's right behind. I can't read that, but he's second place behind somebody here.
Yeah, I feel like I know who that is, but we're not going to say it.
I misspoke the last time we talked. I said that Ryan's team was backsliding. It's actually Big Mike's team is backsliding here on ESPN. They have him going from 2 to 3. They had Ryan going from 3 to 2. So for whatever that's worth, ESPN currently has big runner-up as number 3. So, but as we were talking before this, ESPN has some interesting thoughts when it comes to projections.
They sure do. Take them with a heaping pile of salt.
Yes, yes. Let's pull the team up. Let's take a look-see here.
Let's do it.
Zoom just a little bit out because that's large. All right. So, quarterback spot, we've got Trevor Lawrence. And that's fine. You know, I think a lot of people, rightly or wrongly, I'd say rightly, are projecting a pretty sizable jump for Trevor Lawrence this year. Is it enough to, I don't know, touch the top 5 right in that neighborhood? What do you think?
You know, I think it's got to be close. What are we seeing here? He finished at 6th last year.
That sounds right. Yeah, they finished 6th last year. How about that?
I mean, realistically, I don't know that he's got much of a shot at being the number 1, but I certainly don't think top 5 is unrealistic. He seemed to have stepped up pretty nicely down the stretch last year, and no particular reason to think he won't continue it. So I think it's a solid quarterback. It's not Mahomes, it's not Josh Allen, but it's certainly a strong member of the next tier, I feel. So I give him a B.
Yeah, I think it's a total B. I guess I didn't even realize he finished 6th. Yeah, so I have my moments, I guess. Yeah, the Jags have done this crazy thing that not many teams in the NFL do, where they seem to have tried to set up some continuity, which is wild. They didn't get rid of all their coordinators. I think they kept bulk of their offense in place. So, Yeah, I don't see any reason why we wouldn't expect Trevor Lawrence to, at least take a step, if not a big step forward this year. So
Yep.
yeah, I think it's a B with obviously shot to move into the top five. So
Yep. I think so
right on.
too. Yep.
Um, Running back. I I thought he had a really great group of running backs. We've got Austin Eckler, Saquon Barkley, Miles Sanders, Damian Pierce, uh, Ty Chandler. I think he actually just cut Ty Chandler today, or
He
though, didn't
he
he?
did. As of this evening, the four you listed are the only running backs on his roster.
Okay.
And
Well,
and that, as far as when I'm grading the position, I dinged him just a little bit for that. Like it's a strong group of four, but having just the four would freak me out.
yeah, it feels a little limiting. And obviously there's plenty of time to pick up another body and kind of see what shakes out heading into the regular season here with some of these camp battles that appear to be finalized.
Yeah.
But you've got your entire running back core in your starting roster, and yeah, it just feels a little bit bare, a little
Yep,
bit
a little
spooky.
bit. But if you're only going to have four, that's a pretty good group of four to be carrying. So,
Yeah, I
you know,
agree. It's I don't know, it's right up at the top of the best running back groups in the league. I didn't have a problem giving him an A. Yeah, I think this is probably my second favorite group of running backs, in the league. So that's kind of where I was at with it.
behind whose? Or
I
is
didn't
or is that teasing something that's coming up in the future?
No, maybe maybe I didn't answer my own question. I just felt like putting him at second. And there's a very nebulous somebody is better than
He
him.
is
So
he is the big runner up, so second
right.
seems right.
Yeah, exactly. Very suiting.
Well, speaking of moving on to the wide receivers, where I think he's got an excellent group, and I still would probably put him at second in the league.
You think so? Yeah, yeah.
I do. I do. I might be, kind of tooting my own horn here a little bit, but I, I think I've got the best receiver group in the league. I think having three guys that are, projected to be top 10 wide receivers, I don't know that anyone beats that. But if anyone gets close, it's the trio of Garrett Wilson, Cooper Kupp, and Devonta Smith.
Yeah, sprinkle
Like,
in some scary Terry. A
oh,
guy who's gonna finish top 20, top 24, Same with
sure could.
Tyler Lockett. I think he's right in that rounding out top 24 guys. So
And Burks and Pickens are both guys with real nice upside. Like
yeah,
tons of talent. Maybe not the greatest offenses and maybe not the greatest quarterbacks they're playing with, but they have the talent. So, we'll see what comes of them.
Tyler Lockett finished as 13th last year. That I did not
Really?
realize.
It's outrageous.
Scary Terry finished as 15th. Wow. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Maybe I'm underselling his receivers a bit, but
Yeah, I
regardless, they're definitely a real strong stellar group.
right. I really liked it. Yeah, it's a no doubt A for me.
Likewise,
Yeah,
easily an
yeah.
A.
So, oof. God, I wish there was something more controversial that he could give us to talk about. This kind of
Well,
sucks.
let's move forward a little bit. We might find something in the defense.
Okay, well, here's a controversial take. George Kittle, not my favorite tight end, and I think we're about to witness the demise of George Kittle as an elite tight end option. Um, did you know that in half of his games last year, he didn't put up more than 30 yards? Period.
Really,
Yeah, yeah.
I did not know that.
In
Yeah.
games, oh, here's another one. I got a good follow up.
Okay.
In games with Brock Purdy, his new quarterback, and a healthy Debo Samuel, probably the 1A target in that offense. Now, granted, there weren't many of these games. I think there were 3.5 of them. But he only averaged 5 points per game in that scenario. So
Wow.
it looks like he takes a back seat with a full complement of 49ers on offense. So,
Which makes a little sense, to be entirely honest. Uh, it's hard to know for sure what's coming there. Like Kittle himself has a ton of talent. He's an excellent football player. I don't know if he's going to get the ball enough to live up to what he's been able to do sometimes in the past.
yeah.
So I don't know, like given just how the tight end position is, I gave him a B. Like you grabbed a guy who is an elite level talent and has proven production in the past. We don't have it's not like he's I don't think he's reached an age where he's going to fall off skill wise or anything like that yet. So just given the options available, he's a good option. Whether or not he follows through and puts up enough points to really do the team any good is anyone's guess. But
Yeah. I mean,
just
despite me being a 49ers hater and being maybe a bit more pessimistic than most on George Kittle's outlook, yeah, it's still a B. He's still a top 5 option at the position.
right.
Maybe even better than that. Maybe I wouldn't put him at top 3, but top 5, sure.
I think he's in the 3 to 5 range.
Yeah, yeah,
He might be 3, but he's definitely not above it.
right.
I'm not sure he's 3, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just we'll see what he does. I've got some similar concerns to what you do, but it's just the tight end position. He's a good tight end. He's you get what you can get.
Yep.
Only Matt can have Travis Kelce. So
that's the problem with tight end. But
yep.
Mark it here, Capstradamus. I'm calling it. George Kittle falls out of the top 5. This
All right.
is the end of the line.
Someone write that down.
I got it. YouTube has it.
Good man. All right. Talk a little defense.
Defense. Let's start with the D line. We've got
reasonable place to start.
A veritable wrecking crew, if you ask me. It's Max Crosby, Aaron Donald, Chase Young, Rashawn Gary, and Quinnen Williams. I mean, look, you're stacked at the top with Crosby, who I'm pretty sure was D lineman number 1 overall last year.
I believe so.
Aaron Donald, if he's going to be healthy and fully dedicated, yeah, he's going to be in the top 5. I don't think there's any question about that.
Right. Remains a monster.
Yeah. Chase Young, he had those couple of awful injury years that maybe you can forgive him for, maybe not. I don't know, but there's still a lot of potential, right?
Yeah. I feel like to some extent him and Gary even are kind of lottery picks. Like let's throw something at the wall and see if it sticks.
Mm-hmm.
And when you've got Donald, Crosby, and Williams on your roster already, I really like a guy like Chase Young as just kind of a let's grab him, let's hold him for a little bit, and let's see what it looks like. It's like you said, tons of talent. He just hasn't put it together yet, but he is still young. I mean, he still might. He might not, but he might. And I think it's worth a roster spot at least for the time being. So I gave him I think it'd probably go with like a B plus on that.
I gave it an A, but
I didn't want to give him too many A's.
Yeah. I know. No, that's why I was a little upset. Like I said, there needs to be some more controversy on this roster because it's a little too good for my liking. So
it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
One that I don't like nearly as well. Let's talk about the linebacking group.
Let's do that.
Devin Lloyd, Logan Wilson, and Pete Werner. Oh, we do have Jordan Brooks, who is coming back from injury. I don't know. That's one where obviously another guy who can be great, but what was it? I think it was a torn ACL last year. It happened in like October, November of last year, I think. So it's the road from recovery was pretty early on. So
Right. I
um
mean, it's fairly recent. I, I I don't hate the linebackers. I really don't love them. Like they're just not special, you know. Like
no, no.
if I gave him a C on the linebacking crew. To give it a better grade, I'd really like to see someone who I really felt was like an elite level guy to
Yeah.
kind of drag it up. You know, see a Aaron Donald quality linebacker in there, and I don't feel like we have anyone quite on that level. I feel like we got a lot of Quinnen Williams.
Well, yeah, that I think
Solid,
that's a really
good,
good way to put it.
not great. You know,
Yeah, Logan Wilson is like the ham sandwich of your linebackers.
yeah.
You know what you're going to get. It's not going to be exciting or anything like that.
Right.
Um, Devin Lloyd has had a pretty rough go of it. I mean, he was a rookie last year, so obviously that could turn around, but it sounds like, he might not be as exciting as the Jags were hoping for. Something called Chad Muma is taking playing time from him. So,
Whatever the hell that is.
exactly. Um, I like Pete Werner. Had him on my team last year for a good chunk of the year. He's shown some flashes, but again, he's going to be splitting time with the crusty vet Demario Davis.
Pete Werner is
And
a crusty vet at this point.
I think this is his third year, isn't it? I mean, I guess maybe is that crusty? Maybe that's
I,
crusty.
I thought he'd been around longer than that. Maybe he hasn't.
No, I think this is his third year.
Oh,
But he has missed some games in his rookie year and last year to injury as well, so might be worth mentioning. So I don't
oh.
know. Maybe you get a super amazing Adrian Peterson-esque bounce back from Jordan Brooks and Pete Werner turns the corner. That's a lot of what ifs. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Well,
with
I
you.
mean,
I gave it a
if
C.
Brooks makes it back and Logan Wilson keeps on being Logan Wilson, you're gonna have an all right group. It's
Yeah.
just there's there's no one on here that's challenging for the top spot in the linebackers.
No, 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 no.
I'm not entirely certain that there's anyone on here that's particularly likely to challenge for anywhere near the top 10.
No, Wilson is a pretty consistent, 20 to 30. He finished 30 last year. Werner, like I said, he missed, I think, he might have missed like 4 or 5 games last year. He finished at 53. So, yeah,
And I mean, you're kind of hanging a lot on Brooks making it back.
right. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I give him a C on linebackers.
Maybe he could start some of those wide receivers as
As
linebackers.
linebackers,
That
it's worth a shot.
that could do it.
Yep. Yep.
Uh,
All right. One
how
last
about
position group.
Yeah, the DBs. We've got Javon Holland, Xavier McKinney, Kyle Duggar, and Donovan Wilson.
So on my notes for linebacker, I wrote solid but unspectacular. And on my notes for defensive back, I wrote same as linebacker.
I feel like there's a little bit more reason for optimism with the DBs. Um,
Yeah, I mean, you're right. There is.
Honestly, Kyle Duggar might be his best linebacker right now because that's him and McKinney are basically the second linebackers for their respective defenses. Um, and they'll put up points as such, but
Right.
these other guys, I don't know, they're DBs. So,
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't they're not bad. There's
no, no,
nothing
no, no.
particularly strong negative to be said. There's just not anything all that exciting positive to be said either.
Yeah, well, it's hard to be positive and exciting when Ryan owns 9 of the league's DBs and,
That's true.
Half of them are in the top 5. So thanks a lot, Ryan.
Jerk.
Jerk. So that's what we've got for the position grouping. So
do you have an overall grade?
For me, we talked, spoiler, I don't think I've published the Ryan video yet, but
You haven't.
we bumped Ryan down. Ryan was going to be the new high score with a B. We adjusted his wide receiver grade, and that took him down to a C plus. Mike's team, on the other hand, looks much more positive. This sits at a B overall, so that would put Mike's team in the catbird seat. New high score. Congratulations to Mike.
All right.
But,
That's sad.
B is still not as good as an A. It's enough to get you second place.
It's a good way to get second place.
Yep.
That sounds about right.
So we'll see. We'll see here. We've only got 8 days until football. So
That's exciting.
right.
Real exciting. How many teams we got to get through between now and then?
3 more. No,
yeah. 3, maybe
4. 4 more. Yep. So
yeah.
We got time
we
aplenty.
got 3 more, and then we got the best one. So
yeah. We're gonna do mine again? Is that what's happening?
Oh no. I'm thinking I might do yours again.
Oh God.
Someone's got to actually be honest about
history.
yours.
Is that what you're talking about?
Someone's got to be honest about it.
I'm gonna skip that video.
Deal.
All right. Well, thank you, Carl, for this rundown, and
Absolutely. Let's do
I
it
guess
again soon.
good luck to you, Mike. We'll see, but yeah, you got a team. Congrats.